Bert and I come down to the dock about 6 o'clock in the early morning. Bert went into the boathouse to fetch the pots and the slickers, and I went out on the dock to start up the Bluebird. I stepped into the cockpit to loosen her up with a few turns. You could hear it were cold, so I advanced the spark and gave it more choke and cranked her up in earnest. Well, I got it started. Bert come out on the dock with the pots and the slickers. "Throw 'em aboard, Bert." Bert threw 'em aboard. "Cast off the bow, Bert." Bert cast off the bow. He cast off the stern, loosed the springer, hopped aboard, gave the dock a shove with the boat hook, and the Bluebird slithered out into harbor. We hit no number 2 about on schedule when I sniffed a cold breeze coming in off the ocean laden with humdidy. That were me sniffing. That were the breeze. It weren't long before old Greasy Frog Light started in a thumping. "Hoo-oh! Hoo-oh!" That were old Greasy Frog. Presently, we were locked in a dungeon of fog. I couldn't see Bert, and he couldn't see me. I told Bert to cut engine so's we could listen for the Bangor packet, about due through at that time. "Cut engine, Bert." Bert cut engine. "Give a blast to the horn, Bert." "Give it another one, Bert." That were a good un, but it weren't good enough. For out of the fog, about 100 yards to port, come the Bangor packet, bearing down at a full 10 knots. The Bangor packet smuck the Bluebird about midships and drove on through her like green corn goes through the new made. The water rose up to our necks before we decided to swim for it. I dove down about a fathom or so as to avoid the 2 whirring propellers of the Bangor packet as she went o'er top. I come up t'other side and cried out, "Bert! Bert, are you there?" There weren't no answer, so I thrashed about in the water till I hit upon a hard object about a foot or so beneath the surface. I grabbed a hold of it, pulled it up, and it were Bert, only he were full of water. I just held his nose above the waves as best I could, till by some stroke of luck we fetched on to a buoy. I clumb atop it, pulled Bert up beside me, emptied him, and we were near dried out by the time a fishing smack come along, picked us up and brought us back into Kennebunkport, Maine. Now, if you're ever down east and want to go a-fishing, you have a standing invitation to ride on the Bluebird 2 with Bert and I.